Hello, dear friends, my lovely audiences. Welcome to the East West Show. Jack Chow on the East West Show with G&E TV. Of course, with lots of pleasure. I love my job. It is an opportunity. It's a privilege, not a job. Simply, I call it privilege because I have the privilege that you don't. Please allow me to flaunt a little bit. To meet all kinds of people, including artists. Speaking of artists, we have all kinds of artists. That of course includes, first of all, vocal artists. Today I have one, my good friend Douglas Rogers, right?
Very close.
Am I close?
Rogers.
Rogers. A singer dash personality. I like the part personality. He called himself the crooner. Let's see, the crooner. Yeah. I like that, right? There's nothing I don't like so far.
It's pretty good so far.
Right. So, with that as a lead line, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jack.
All right. Right now we're in October. It's time, once again, the annual big event of Chinese American Film Festival and the Chinese American Television Festival coming. Those two festivals are for 13 years. So this year is celebrating the 14th anniversary.
Wow.
The birthday, right?
That's wonderful.
So each year you have about 1,000 to 1,200 artists, filmmakers come together to celebrate. During the celebration, you have all kinds of activities, not only the award presentation, not only the dinner, banquet discussion, seminar, and the market contract signing, so on and so forth. Deals are made, and directors looking for actors, and the actors looking for directors, or either way. Producers looking for films, for scripts, so on and so forth. Writers looking for a home, right? So all kind of activity going on. Plus, you're talking about 250 film screens.
Wow.
The big activity. Of course, amongst the activity, the participants includes vocal artists. So that said, please be invited to this year. And I believe my crew will send you an invitation.
Oh, right? I would love that.
Right? They will mark it. They take a note to send you an invitation.
Please do. This sounds exciting. I think you're going to be busy.
Yeah, very busy. Good. And we're going to be one singer happier.
Yeah.
All right. Good. All right. As you may notice, the title of today's show, "May Your Hours Be Happy Hours."
Correct.
May each of your hours be a happy hour.
Yep. May all your hours be happy hours.
All your hours be happy hours. I like those happy hours thing. As a matter of fact, life is short.
Yeah.
Why don't we live in a happy way?
That's right.
Right. So you're gonna end up anyway.
We all go to the same place.
Why you can make your hours a happy hours. So okay, now it's time for your own story.
Please.
How did you or when did you pick up this trade?
Well, I started singing back in 2006.
Where were you born?
I'm originally from, believe it or not, it's a little town called Burbank, but it's from South Dakota. Yeah.
Burbank of South Dakota.
There is a Burbank in the Midwest, in the very southeastern South Dakota.
You never sound South Dakota.
No, and I'm not. I think it is supposed to. I'm supposed to sound more Norwegian.
I know why. Because the name of Burbank.
Yeah, that's it.
That dragged you over.
I saw Johnny Carson was filming in Burbank, and I said, "Can we go see him?" And they're like, "No, it's a different Burbank."
Okay, different Burbank. Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
That was very confusing as a kid, but I was like, okay.
All right.
And because there's population of Burbank is actually only about 90 people.
Oh.
It's that small a town.
Oh.
Yep.
Everybody knows everybody in town.
Yeah, that kind of a town. Everybody knows everyone, and all the kids play together. When we were growing up, they had a little schoolhouse and a baseball field and stuff. Yeah.
Interesting.
So we'd all play ball and things like that together. And I went from there to New York City to go to school. And while I was in New York, that's when Frank Sinatra passed away. And so this is 1998, and I saw them light the Empire State Building blue, like I was saying to you. And I thought in my Midwest mind, as I wasn't quite exposed to Frank growing up, but I said, man, who do you have to be for them to light that building the color of your eyes? It's so specific, and it just shows a lot of respect. And coming from a small community into a larger community, going from the country to the city, essentially, country mouse to city mouse, and seeing the respect this gentleman had.
Big jump.
You got it, yeah. And I was like, wow, what? And I was going to musical theater school at the time. The American Musical and Dramatic Academy was my school I was going to, and so I noticed that I was singing songs that they sang too, like Blue Skies was one of the songs, and we're doing Irving Berlin and all these different artists, and the Rat Pack did the same kind of music, just with a little more.
Back then, talking about music though,
go ahead.
Americans were relatively settled from the 70s rush.
Right.
During the 70s, there was quite a rush when not only the audiences, but the singers too, they got lost a little bit.
Yeah, you're talking like, are we talking like hippies and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's... You
have hippies, you have Beatles all at the same time.
Right.
All mixed. You can't tell which is which.
And it's an interesting that you even bring that up, because that's something I've even talked to people out and about. They like how I dress, and they like that I get dressed up in tuxedos and things like this. And I would go to parties, Hollywood parties, and they'd be like, why are you in a suit and a hat? And I'd ask them, why are you wearing a backpack? You know, like, it just doesn't.
It's my Burbank style.
That's my Burbank style. You know what? That's really.
Yeah, sure. Use my line. It's Burbank style.
That's Burbank style. I like that a lot, actually.
Yeah,
I will
it's my Burbank style. Yeah. Like
I think it's the fact that I didn't, like, growing up on the farm, I just got tired of being dirty. So now I'm saying, well, I can't go out and do that hard, laborious dirt, working in manure and hay and grain and feed, because this suit costs $1,200.
Exactly.
That kind of thing.
Exactly.
But speaking of to like the hippie generation and that kind of stuff, I remember talking to somebody about how there used to be they call it a toolbox, I guess, back in when we were talking about a toolbox that a father handed down to son. Little things like how to tie a bow tie. And what a styptic pencil is, and things like this. And it was like around that generation where they said, let's let the kids just do whatever they want, man. And that's where that kind of was a little bit lost. So, but I'm seeing more and more youngsters wearing bow ties.
You were in between.
Yeah.
You were in between. Yes, good.
Good. And the bow tie is now a young man's game.
I would say lucky you.
Huh?
I would say lucky you to be born, to be active those period of time, and you know that, well, by that, your advantage is that you know both.
Yeah.
Right, good.
Got to see some of it.
I have a friend who these days, he would say, hey, come join me for lunch. He would drive all the way home, put tuxedos on, put a bow tie.
For lunch?
And come back for lunch. That's his style.
Wow, I like it.
That's his style, right?
That's wonderful.
I said, man, you know what? Well, you deserve more lunch.
Yeah, we got to go nicer places.
Yeah, sure, like that. I like that. Yeah. Especially these days, well, when you see those low-hanging pants.
Oh, God.
All right? When you see those barely cover anything tops.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
You really want to think twice about those old style. Right?
Can I tell you a story? So I started singing on Santa Monica Promenade, which is essentially, it's called busking in other countries, and it's a little more respected than it is here in the States. But it's like street singing.
Yeah.
Street singing for dollar bills.
I go there all the time.
It's great, right? There's tons of musicians there, and they're all super talented, or most of them. And I was there one time, and exactly what you were talking about walked by. This guy I think he was even taking his shirt off, and his pants were, hanging really low. And as I'm singing and dancing and, doing my thing, I pointed at him and I said, I see London, I see France. right? And he was surrounded by a gang of guys. And later my friend said, man, you're lucky you weren't stabbed. But I was like, no, they all laughed and had a good time. And everybody kind of got it was like jovial. You know what I mean? But no, it's...
Yeah.
I wear suspenders now just to like make sure that my pants don't go down too far.
Very good. You may say, I see London, I see France, I see Africa deep in the jungle. All right. Deep in the jungle. All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, so why I point that? I believe that will be a break. You lay break, a break of your building up of your character, of your personality, right? Back to your story from New York. What did you do?
Well, I went from New York. I came to LA. I actually got chewed up and spat out of LA the first time around. And I always say, that's life, which is a very famous song. And I moved to Arizona and got, some domestic training. And I lived with my sister for a little while. And I said, I'm going to take another crack at Los Angeles. And when I came back this time, I actually moved in with a girl singer who was, she was doing USO shows overseas, and she kind of took me under her wing and said, your voice is too good to keep to yourself. You really should sing for a living. And it never occurred to me that I could make money or make a living or even a career out of singing. But I said, this is the kind of music that I like. Is that okay?
Your life, whoever says that line to you, is always like a tutor.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that gives you a guideline of the rest of your life where you want to go.
Yeah. It helps to hear it. Even if your brain is telling you.
Exactly.
You don't always, sometimes you need to hear someone say it.
Well, so speaking of your voice though, let's take a short moment out. We come back right to listen to your voice.
Please.
I'm going to invite you to sing a little bit.
Okay.
Right? When we come back.
Sounds good to me.
Right, good. All right, good. Hello, dear friends, my lovely audiences. Welcome back to the show, Jack Chow, on the East West Show with lots of pleasure with GND TV. Right now, once again, we're talking about the promotion period of when approaching to the Chinese American Film Festival and the Television Festival. Each year, we understand, it is our principle that there are people, well, of course, only a handful at the very top of the pyramid, and most of them, 99%, are kind of doing the uphill fighting, they're climbing. So amongst the climbers, there are hopefuls, right? And there are more hopefuls. There are the most hopefuls, right? We promote only the most hopefuls, right? I'm picky.
Wonderful.
All right, good. One of them is my good friend, a wonderful singer, Douglas. Douglas started not early. No. I would say 1998 was a kind of like, in New York, when he started, I moved to LA to start his career, and he was, of course, and welcome in a special way. Everybody has to go through that period of time, right? Like the boot camp. Yeah. When you go to boot camp, right, you are almost a ghost.
Yeah.
Right? They treat you like a dog. Right?
Oh, yes.
Right? Only you come out of the boot camp, then you act like a man, you stand tall like a man. Once you have to capitulate, you have to, yes, sir, all the time. Do that, right? That's a rule of life, right?
A phase of life.
You mentioned your voice, your girlfriend. One of the girls mentioned that you have such a good voice, too good to be kept to yourself, though.
That's what she said, yeah.
So go ahead, display some.
Let's see. Is it okay to do, say, an original song? This one.
Let's see. Okay, let me pick. Okay, good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's
do
I'll
tell you what. Can I do Let's All Play?
Let all play. Okay.
So I have a song called Let's All Play.
Let's all play.
And then in parentheses it says in a grown-up way, because like I said, I like to write.
Good,
yeah.
good.
And this one goes, people come and people go, but friends stay your whole life long. Women are great, and when you can relate, their love for you can grow strong. And then there's a rhythm change. Boom, boom, boom. Let's all play in a grown-up way. 'Cause playing games as kids, we all got hurt. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Horns. Let's all play in a grown-up way. Where the winner is the biggest flirt. How am I doing? Is that
Yeah,
is that
sure,
okay?
sure. Yeah, okay, all right, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I like the lyric.
You dig it?
I like the lyric.
Yeah.
And let's all play in the grown-up way.
In a grown-up way. It's essentially saying, when you were kids, everybody got hurt. Now let's change the rules a little bit and play more like adults. But continue to play is essentially the idea.
So good. It's good to say that let's all play, but in the grown-up way. Right. All right. Very good. And okay, so speaking of that devil, though, how did you play in the circle of Hollywood once entered?
Not well. I actually got chewed up and spat out of Hollywood. Yeah, that's a true story too. I did.
Yeah.
I was.
Tell some. Yeah.
Oh God. Well, I mean, like I was. The hardships were like I was fired from 3 different jobs. I got evicted twice, and my best friend kind of moved out on me in the middle of the night.
All right.
And so all that happened in about 6 months. All of that.
Blow after blow.
It's like, do I continue to, fight for what I feel like I'm slipping away at, or should I just go? I was even thinking, like, am I a jerk? Like, do people not like me?
Yeah, you're right.
It got to that point where I was like, it was really depressing. It was quite a blow. And so I went to live with my sister in Arizona and kind of get my head back on straight. And that helped a lot. And it kind of like, I actually was at I made a decision. I had one of those like moments where, because life is full of, when you get to be an adult, you realize it's just choices. Sometimes it's not even right or wrong. It can't be as simple as right or wrong. It's your choice of what to do.
Good.
So I remember I was on a back porch swing, and I said, okay, I had one audition, and I said, if I go on this audition and nothing happens, then I guess I'll maybe pursue being a teacher out here. My sister is a teacher. I come from a family of teachers. And so I said, I'll just do that instead. I'll change my focus and see what happens.
Like throwing a coin.
Kind of like that. I said, but I made that choice.
Okay, good.
And I remember watching the sunset, and I was just like, this is where it's going to be. And I went to this audition, and as I walked in there and I was filling my name out and everything, I heard someone said, Douglas Rogiers, get the hell out of my theater.
Oh.
And I was like, is it okay to say hell? I'm sorry. But I go, who's talking to me? Who knows me here? And I look, and it was the first roommate that I ever had out in New York City. When I moved to New York, this guy was actually my neighbor upstairs, and then we ended up eventually becoming roommates. But he was like my first friend that I made when I moved out of the nest, so to speak, into New York, into this bigger pond.
Okay.
Now I'm in another place, in another part of my life, and here's that same guy at the same theater.
Here's the owner of the theater.
Yeah, he was like, I don't know if he was the owner, but he was putting the show together.
He recognized you.
And he recognized me, and he called me out. And I was like, what are you doing here? And he's like, what are you doing here? Because we're in the middle of, like, nobody thought that neither of us were going to end up in Arizona. It was just one of those moments.
Wow.
And I remember I had made this pact with my soul to say, I'll change. And so when this happened, I said, if nothing happens at this audition, I'll change. Then something like that happens, and now I'm going, well, does that mean like what goes around comes around? Like, did that friend
help you?
It's not even that he helped me. He actually, the fact that I ran into him confused me for about 3 days. I really had to recover from that. I remember like soaking in the tub, just going, what am I supposed to do now? What are you telling me to do? And I guess it was like, don't give up, because you'll never know what happens. And you were saying earlier, like, you never know.
You never know. Yeah.
That's what I got out of it.
You never know.
So I said, okay, well, I'll try to pursue this once I get my head on straight. And then I remember even having a dream where I was sitting in the back seat, and Ewan McGregor and Samuel L. Jackson were driving. It's very Pulp Fiction.
Oh, you pick up the big guys.
Yeah. Well, and Star Wars had just come out. The new Star Wars had just come out, so I think that might have had something to do with it.
All right, okay.
But I love Ewan McGregor, and this was a moment. And I said, guys, I in my dream, I said, guys, I don't know what I should do with the rest of my life. And they said, well, what do you love to do? And I said, right now, the only thing I love to do is sing karaoke. It's my favorite thing to do, is just sing. And they go, well, what do you need to do to be able to sing for the rest of your life? And I was like, I guess I just need to like put something together, get some equipment, and just start to sing somewhere, and maybe that'll start it.
Yeah, be recognized.
Yeah. And they said, there's your answer, kid. And then they let me out of the car, and I remember I was let out into a field of, the sun was setting, so it was very yellow, and there was purple flowers. Now those are Laker colors. I don't know if that has anything to do with it,
okay.
But this was the dream that I even wrote it down in a book, and I said, this is something, and it took about 3 years even to kind of gestate that time.
You got yourself quite unusual.
I did, and that's when I came back, and I said, I'm going to start singing for dollar bills, even because I loved doing it, and I loved the music.
And how did the audition go?
I didn't get the part.
You didn't get a part?
No.
But
no,
that friend gave you good advices?
He did. Well, and even just bumping into him was more, we were kind of spiritual in our own ways, and even just talking to him really kind of brought that side back. And like I said, it just kind of helped me to not give up hope.
You know, Douglas, to my life experiences, now that difficult time, namely blows, are part of life, with that as a condition, nobody can get away from it. You'd rather wish those blows come when you were young.
Yes. Yes, it's easier to recover.
Keep alive, energetic. You have room to bounce, to rebound, to fall, to stand up, to fall again, to stand up again, right?
You come back bigger, stronger.
Never let it come at my age. Right?
Please. Yeah.
All right. Okay, my dear friend. Good life story to share with you, and I believe that in the circle nobody is being plain sailing unless you were born in China, like this woman Fan Bingbing, right, who's been a plain sailing. Right now she's at the door of jail anyway. That's a different story. Okay?
Wow. Wow, that's life.
I'm very happy she's in. Or I will be unhappy she's out. Anyway, okay, let's take a moment out. When we come back, we will continue from this successful man who I decide to promote. Stay with us. Hello, my dear friends, my lovely audiences. Welcome back to the show. And me and my friend Doug are talking about his life story. He's a singer of Hollywood. And once again, like I said, it's a time for promotion. We promoted the very best hopefuls in the club climbing. However, the most hopeful. And well, this is a part of the film festival. That's what we do. In doing films, of course, you need music. Doing music, you need singers. Well, when you need a singer, you need the best one, of course. Here's the logic, right? The part I like your life story for two reasons. Number one, you never denied the hardship of life.
Right.
Right. Including you were spit upon during the early start. And then the blows. The part I like was, the second part is the part I like, that inevitable are the blows you would really wish them come early, when you were capable of handling.
Yeah.
When you were physically strong to handle it, right?
Yes.
Very good. All right.
With energy.
So what happened later? After you were sort of little established, what did you do?
Well, let's see. The next step for me was how to brand myself, I guess. And I told you I love the American Songbook, Frank Sinatra, Bobby Darin, Dean Martin. I sang their songs when I was going to musical theater school, but they just had a different kind of swagger about them, and I really liked that. So branding was the idea, because I try to think of it as a business as well. So I came up with the crooner. I did not know what the word croon meant. And when I did some research on it, there was, back in the 1800s, it was known as like hitting a large bell, that hum sound. That was crooning of the bells.
Yeah.
And then it was used later on. Yeah, the vibrations. Vibration, yes. Yeah, that's that resonance. And then it was used later, explaining like witches and warlocks casting spells and enchanting audiences. And it took on a darker connotation, and I kind of said, you know what, my 20s were very dark. I had a dark time, dark period. I can relate to that. And then it went into like Rudy Valley was a crooner, and he was the guy that, he had sang through a megaphone. But at that time period, it was an honest day's work for an honest day's pay. And so men were working in mines and things like this, and they'd come home and they'd see their women fawning over, or swooning, as the word is, swooning over a guy's voice on the radio, and they didn't like that. So he was dubbed a fairy, okay? And so you didn't want to be a crooner back in that time, because it meant you were gay. And well, I had Uncle Jack and Aunt George in my life, and I love those guys, and they passed of AIDS back in the 90s. And so I said, I can relate to that part of the structure of that word as well. And then Bing Crosby was the one who became America's crooner. He would even hold an instrument, even though he didn't play. He would hold the instrument as the band played, so as not to demasculinize the band's hard work. I don't even know if that's a word, to be honest. But
all right.
But he would, and then he would get up and sing, and he became America's crooner. And then it passed it along to Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin and Perry Como, who even said, I just had my whole career imitating Bing Crosby.
You were very, very careful determining your brand.
Yeah, I love this style, and I haven't really changed it through the years.
Okay.
And
how did you come with the slogan? May all your hours be happy hours. I like that line.
That's cool that you even asked.
Cool, very cool, yeah.
Yeah, because nobody's asked me that. My brother was in the circus, okay? He joined the circus after college, and when he was there, he's a musician, all right? So I think I picked up a lot of my musical inspirato from my big brother.
Yeah. And the style, the gesture,
he was
talking.
Go ahead.
And you look a little bit that taste to me.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah,
thanks, man. No, that's cool. I appreciate you saying so. I really do.
Sure. Okay.
So along with this, Chuck went on to do into the Navy, and he's a retired lieutenant up in Washington State right now, and. But the family stayed with the circus, and I remember he got me a job with them when I was really young, when I was like 17. I joined up with the circus selling cotton candy and loading people on elephants for rides.
That's quite a job.
Quite a job, yeah. No, it was, and I was like, okay, this is one of the things I don't know if I can do for very long. But the ringmaster at the end of all the shows, this is with Ringling Brothers, would always say, "May all your hours be circus hours." And I was like, I used to love hearing him say it at the end of the shows, mostly because it meant I was almost done with work, you know. But then that just kind of stayed with me through the years. And so when I was trying to develop, you know, when I came up with the crooner as my handle, I said, I got to have a catchphrase to leave everybody with. And so I took, "May all your hours be circus hours," and I said, "May all your hours be happy hours."
Yeah, good.
And I thought that kind of
it
made
must
sense.
it must be a very good line.
Yeah.
It must be a very good line because lots of restaurants borrow that for a Tuesday afternoon.
You got it.
Whatever, from 2 to 4.
Everybody has a happy hour somewhere.
Happy hours.
And
like
they always,
that
there's
kinda,
even a saying that says it's a happy hour somewhere or something like that.
Happy hour somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Anywhere in the
good.
world, there's a happy hour going on right now.
I like the fact that when you started low. When you started young. When you started with the dark days. You were not born with a silver spoon in your mouth.
I bet.
And you were on the farm. You were poor. You had all yourself, and you had a big dream. And by the way, I like your dream. I like the visual that you fictioned in your dream. Though.
Thank you. Yeah.
Well, anyway, so that's all you needed as the foundation of personality. I noticed on this, you call yourself a singer dash personality. What's the logic of that, please?
The logic is I actually lifted that from Dean Martin himself. I heard him in an interview saying, because being out in Los Angeles, anybody can say they're an actor, and everybody says that's kind of a cliche thing to say.
Yeah. It's free.
Yeah,
It's a free country. Anyway.
Everybody wants to be an actor. It's pretty obvious,
of course.
to be honest. You got to be into show business and all this kind of stuff. But I heard Dean Martin say, "I'm a personality. Like it's more than just saying the lines right or whatever. It's actually going out there and talking to people and
Your own style.
yeah, going out
Your
and having a
own
drink
way.
with them, and if I see them again, I'll buy them a drink and that kind of stuff. It's just really getting to know people, and I have had people pull me aside and say, "You're doing exactly what the Rat Pack did." They would come out and they'd converse with everybody and they'd drink with you and they would hang out, and I would say thank you because I never got to see them. I'm too young to have been able to see Frank Sinatra or Dean Martin live. You know, I caught Frank Jr. live one time, and that was really neat. You know, there was an aha moment of, oh man, this must be what it felt like.
That you were lucky enough already.
Say it one more time.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
I mean, that you were lucky already because you were at different times.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, very good.
I was like, tell me stories because I need to know what. I don't even know what I'm doing yet. I'm still trying to figure it out.
And next thing I noticed that the song titles, those are very wonderful titles. For example, Lucky Be a Lady. What does it tell?
Luck Be a Lady is from the musical Guys and Dolls. Now, Guys and Dolls, when I was in high school, I played Sky Masterson from Guys and Dolls, which was very much this kind of character. Damon Runyon was an author, and he wrote a lot of books, and all these guys were like, you know, Benny the Horse and Jimmy the Mule and stuff like that. And Nicely Johnson. They had all these names, and they talked like this. And you know, and Luck Be a Lady was one of the songs that they played in that. I even said songs, like it's like I'm taking on the character, right?
Songs, yeah.
But it's one of the songs from that musical, and so I got to sing it in high school, and it was one of the greatest shows. It was just a fun production. And then when I went to, I actually got a gig. I did land finally one thing out here in Los Angeles, and that put me on NBC. It was a game show from the host, the creator of The Voice and Deal or No Deal, made a hybrid show called The Winner Is.
Okay.
All right, The Winner Is had 101 people in an audience, and 6 contestants would go head to head in front of this audience of 101. The 101 would vote for their favorite, and then they would put the numbers up on a large board, and not tell anybody who got what number.
You don't know.
You don't know.
You don't know. Yeah.
So there's also a level of like gambling.
Yeah, make you feel that you're a winner already.
Yeah. At one point, I told the girl, I went up against these lovely girls that sang. I was like, there's no way I'm going to beat them, but I sang "Luck Be a Lady" was my first song, and the score, I got the second highest score of the entire show, and like I said, there's a level of gambling almost in this show as well. So I told the girls, you have 10 seconds or 3 seconds or whatever it is to take the money. It's $10,000. If you think you won, don't take it because the money more than doubles in the next round. If you think you lost, take the money. Nobody had to walk away empty-handed. That's what I liked the game. Everybody could get something.
Okay.
So I told the girls.
You get more or less.
That's right. And I said, look, girls, if you take the money, we both win.
Yeah.
So I was really trying to play the gamble.
That's a good line. That's a good line. Yeah, that's a good line.
But it paid off in the end. It was really good. I did "Luck Be a Lady," and then my other song on my single, my introduction CD here, "Ain't That a Kick in the Head." And so I put those two songs on there because I figured those are the songs that people are probably going to know me from anything on NBC.
All right. What, quite a life. And
so
you
far,
probably want to write a script. And probably you want to do a musical.
Yeah.
Yeah, write a script for a musical. And your life story is worth a stage play.
That's awesome. Okay. Very nice of you to say.
Let's take a short moment out. We come back, we pick up something, and we will continue finding out where this young man, still young though, needs to go. Right? Stay with us. Hello, dear friends, my lovely audience, ladies and gentlemen, my dear fellow Americans, welcome back to the show. Well, here in this country, you talk about freedom. Freedom means that you can, you have the right to do anything, including failure, including to be spat upon, including to fail in the bluest way.
Yeah.
All right, good. Well, anyway, your story reminds me, when I was in the 20s, well, my life was even more miserable than yours.
Is that right?
Yeah. So, luckily we all grown up. Luckily we're all men now, right? Luckily he is accepting himself in the circle of Hollywood, which is so hard to, if you look at it, you see every word is taken, right? And I call it precipitated already. Okay. All right. Now, so back to your song though. I really want to check about your lyric. Some of the lyric of these songs that I like most. I don't have time to go one by one, but these songs I like most. Love for a Lifetime and Junk House?
Junk House, yeah. Junk House is
Let's all play. Which one has the most, the best lyric that you like to yourself? Because I know you wrote those lyrics, right? Which one is the one that has the best lyrics?
Oh boy, that's a tricky one. I like Love for a Lifetime.
Love for a Lifetime.
Love for a Lifetime. There's a line in there that says, I always wanted a girl just like you. We can do anything and be fine. I want to share with you how much I care for you, all the while knowing you're mine. And I wonder how it will feel with you now. It's a pretty song. There's a couple of lyrics in there that I think I'll change.
The reason I'm asking,
do it again, but
the reason I'm asking is that. Nowadays, if even they on the day-to-day communication among people, though, they want to quote some wonderful lines. There are good lines that last forever.
Yeah.
Right. There are good lines that last forever. I believe that one of your songs someday will do the same thing. Right. Good. Okay. Everything laid down already. So what do you want to do next? Where do you plan to be?
Well, let's see. This next step is I have bigger dreams. I'm still chasing the rainbows.
First, where are you performing? This is one of it?
Oh yeah, that's one of the places I perform.
Say something about it. My audience might want to know.
This is a gig that I've had for a long time. It's every Wednesday night in Pasadena, California.
Every Wednesday night in Pasadena.
Yep, at a place called Chorizo. Intimate kind of environment, so reservations are encouraged.
I see.
And yeah, I perform there between 7 and 10 o'clock every week, every Wednesday night. And then I have other gigs that are like steady gigs, first Tuesdays, first Thursdays, and I'm everywhere from I was in West Covina at the Lincoln House last night. I'm down in Anaheim at Kino's on the second Saturdays of the month. And people always say, like, you should really get out there more. You should have more exposure. And I tell them, like, I'm actually really booked with all of these local gigs. I'm too booked to be able to figure out how in the world I'm supposed to branch out. I would have to change my whole structure of how I do business to be able to figure it out. This upcoming Friday, next Friday, actually a week from tonight on October 12th, me and my band I have a 7-piece band with brass and everything, and we're playing at the Cicada Club downtown Los Angeles, which is a very elegant club. Used to be a haberdashery. There's 2 dance floors on two levels, 2 bars, so you can get drunk everywhere. You walk into the place and you think you're going to see Humphrey Bogart sitting at the bar. It's beautiful. And I'll invite you, please. Like, if you want to come, I'll put you on my list.
Send me some info.
If you can come,
I'll see I can go
you're on my list. And we're doing a Frank Sinatra tribute show. So this should be a lot of fun.
All right,
I'm
good.
very much looking forward to that. And then after that, at Chorizo, even on this Sunday, the 14th, I'm doing a Sammy Davis Jr. tribute with just a piano player, more intimate.
You said only on Wednesday, right?
Only on Wednesday, yeah.
Only on Wednesday.
But there's a piano player that he puts on a cabaret, and he says, I like how you sing. Can we work together? And I said, sure, because it would give a little more press to Chorizo as well. And because Jack is the name of the owner of the building, or the owner of the restaurant as well. And he says, he doesn't do commercials. It's all word of mouth.
By accepting all the local gigs, though, get yourself spread out, get yourself known, right? And also, this is the good move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're going to start doing videos and stuff too, I think.
Video thing. Nowadays with I believe this is for several years back, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now what you do, you don't even do that. You need a online album.
I am on Spotify.
Yeah,
if you look up Douglas
right?
Roziers, you'll find that album on Spotify. And like I said, the fella that helped me produce this CD actually passed away in a car accident, like within the year of this thing being put out. And so all of the money that I get from this CD goes to him and his family.
Oh, yeah. All right. Good.
So yeah, so I get nothing out of this CD, and working on some new stuff now. So
you'll remember the old friend.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah.
Who did quite a contribution.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I just passed up his age. I'm a little older than him.
So how tied up are you? You have one show almost every day?
I do. I usually work anywhere between 3 to 5 times a week. I try not to do too much more than that, just to give my vocals a rest, because every show that I do, if I were doing like big stadium shows and things like that where people buy tickets, usually those are only about an hour to 90 minutes. Unless you're like Bruce Springsteen or something like that.
Yeah.
I hear he goes a long time. But my shows are always 3 hours. So it's 3 hours a night. So yeah, I'm coming. I did 3 hours on Tuesday at the Golden Spur on
3-hour
66
flat
this week.
3-hour flat, song after song?
I take breaks. I used to not take breaks.
Okay.
And my vocal coach said that's like running a marathon every day. Your muscles are tired. Don't sing on tired muscles.
That's amazing. You're overusing it.
I'm athletic. So like I used to be a boxer back in high school.
Okay.
And so my vocal coach says it's amazing that you can still do what you do.
Yeah.
As long as you can do it, but let's train it to go the long run versus punching it all out. Youth goes away.
You're a union member?
I'm like SAG eligible, I think is what I'm supposed to say. Yeah.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
I have a commercial agent. I even have a call back this afternoon for a commercial, and so I moved out here to LA to be in commercials. That was my original intent. And then singing just kind of took over my life. So
Okay, all right, okay. Okay, let's see. Is there any song that has the line that may every hour of yours be happy hours?
not yet.
Not yet,
That's a
right?
great idea.
Yeah, I would recommend that you write a song
fantastic.
using the slogan.
Yeah.
May
What a great idea.
all your hours be happy hours.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, do it.
Nobody
do it.
steal that.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah,
do
TM.
it. Do it.
Right
Yeah,
here.
do it. Yeah.
Thank you, Jack.
I would
Yeah, I'm
say
gonna do
that
that.
song will fly.
That's beautiful.
That
Yeah.
song will fly. A while ago,
Can't
I
believe I never thought that.
mentioned there is one line or 1, 2 or something that always flies. People have it on the lips. People use it a lot, quote unquote. You use it a lot. The happy hours thing could be one. I really recommend that you write something to do it.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, of course,
Yeah.
of course.
Thank you.
And for big event, for whatsoever, it could be a theme song.
It's great. I
Could
I
be
can't believe I never thought of it before.
Could a
So
theme,
thank
could be
you.
a theme
I'm gonna
song.
run with that.
All right, good, very
Yeah.
good. All right.
Fantastic, Jack.
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay, my dear friends, my lovely audiences. Today with my good friend Douglas Roger, we had some good time. And honestly, to be honest with you, that I would say no artist had a planned life. Right? In other words, if you are successful and you tell me you have a planned life or planned sailing, either you're faking a story yourself or you lie, or, well, there's somebody behind you or some kind of money behind you whatsoever. Right? For a country boy from Burbank of South Dakota all the way to where he is now, I can see a long trail of hard working. Even though he's still a young man in my eye, I believe this young man has a bright future.
Thank you.
I believe that he has spent enough, he has experience enough, and he deserves a future. And now is a harvest season to collect the future, to keep on, to move on to the next stage. Right? Very good. So that wraps up the interview today. And I will ask my cameraman and editor to put all the music as much as possible in the show, either to be as a background music or beginning music, whatsoever.
Cool.
To let my audience know the music world.
Thank you.
That's right.
Thank you.
The
Very
marathon
cool. I appreciate
voice.
that. Thank you,
The
Jack.
marathon vocal.
Thank you.
The singer dash personality. Right. The crooner. All right. Very good.